God save the King. It is devastating news that our King, Charles III, has a form of cancer. It is vital that our King knows the nation is behind him, spurring him on as he begins his treatment and for the long, difficult road ahead. This all comes amid a backdrop of Catherine's hospital admission, Sarah Ferguson's cancer diagnosis. The royal family has been Britain's strength and stay. Now it is time for us to do our bit. We came together when the Queen sadly passed. We came together for the coronation, and now we must come together again to support our dear King. Prince Harry is doing the right thing. He's coming home to be with his father. Prince William must be struggling immensely. This surely is a time for reconciliation. This surely is a time for the brothers to bury the hatchet. The King has chosen to go public with this diagnosis, this in part to raise awareness and help others, but also, no doubt, because it would become impossible to hide. We now need to make our love and support impossible to hide as well. Every single family in Britain, sadly, has to deal with cancer at some point. All the worry, the fear and the trepidation that brings. I hope that tonight, that worry, fear and trepidation reverberating around the corridors of Buckingham Palace is drowned out by public well wishes and support. Great Britain is the country of the bulldog spirit. We have overcome every single adversity the world has thrown at us, and I know our King will overcome this. God save the King. Let's cross now to GB News' royal correspondent, Cameron Walker, who is at Buckingham Palace for us. Cameron, thank you very much. What do we know so far?
Well, Patrick, at 6 o'clock this evening, Buckingham Palace released a pretty lengthy statement confirming that the King has been diagnosed with a form of cancer. Now, it's understood that it is not prostate cancer. If you remember, a few weeks ago, he was in hospital receiving treatment for an enlarged prostate, which Buckingham Palace at the time said was benign. And it's understood that doctors, by treating the King for that separate condition, discovered something else. And that is why the King returned to London from Sandringham this morning to begin his outpatient treatment. So he is travelling to and from hospital, but then is staying at Clarence House. So he's not expected to spend the night at any hospital. But of course, it's not just a UK story, this actually. It's a pretty global event, and we've had tributes flooding in from across the world, most recently from President Joe Biden as well, who has sent his best wishes in the last few minutes. The media here are all from different countries. And then we had, about an hour later, this statement from a source close to the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, who not only heard of the King's diagnosis from the King himself, as well as Prince William, but he's also chosen to come back from the United States to be with his father at this time. So he's expected to arrive in London within the coming days, which suggests to me perhaps a bit of an olive branch and does really show that perhaps the King still really does love his son. And Meghan, as we understand it, is not expected to travel with him. She's going to stay in California with the two children. On the surface, a cancer diagnosis seems pretty scary. We're told that the King is grateful to his medical staff for catching it, and he's also pretty hopeful that perhaps it's been caught early enough, because we know that the King is going to be very much carrying on with duties behind the scenes. So although we're not going to see him in public, he is going to be carrying on, signing those government papers, reading cabinet minutes. It's understood he's going to continue meeting the Prime Minister weekly, as well as attend Privy Council meetings. So a scary diagnosis, but it looks like he's got the best possible medical care.
Absolutely. Cameron Walker, thank you very much. Outside Buckingham Palace for us, our royal correspondent.